director. Make some noise, show your love for Steve Shapiro.
All right, how we doing? Are we all inspired? Are we all inspired? I know that, this is only my 4th conference, but every single NMD speech, it moves me and inspires me, and I take something from every one of those, so I hope you are too. Quick announcement, would all fast track sales coordinators who have fast tracked since last April please come backstage to my right, that would be your left, so right there, all fast track sales coordinators, this way backstage, okay? Thank you. All right, so our next presentation is really special to me. When we decided we wanted a team building session at conference, we knew that it had to be someone who not only recognized and was recognized as a great leader, but as important, it had to be someone who has shown great determination, perseverance, flexibility, and a wonderful heart. I have been fortunate to work with her for the last 6 months, and I have great respect and admiration for what she and her team have built. It's now time for her to show you how this has all come together, so we can all learn so much. So please join me in welcoming Andrea Bohn to the stage.
Hey, everybody. Okay, I am going to start by being real with you right away. You're going to find this out real quick. This is just my style. So I had several people tell me in preparing for this today that the most important thing was your opening statement, okay? I don't have one. I seriously don't have one. And let me tell you what, I went to bed last night to be so prepared for this, and I laid there for 2.5 hours trying to come up with my opening statement, right? Well, here's the thing I realized. I always tell my team, if you are calling a customer, following up with a prospect, and you think you're bothering them, be authentic, be real. Nobody can be bothered by that. So it was so funny. After 2.5 hours of lying there, I'm like, oh, I need to follow my own advice, don't I? So I'm owning it, okay? So that is the entry. I am so excited to be here with you today. I'm Andrea from San Antonio, Texas, and I'm going to just jump in and tell you a little bit about my story. So I'm a mom of 3. I have 3 adult kids between the ages of 20 and 25 years old. I am a marathon runner. I've done a few marathons, including St. Jude's. I've done lots of halves and some 10Ks too. I'm kind of a newlywed of sorts. I've been married for 2 years now to my amazing and incredibly supportive husband, Brandon. I love you. And I'm already going to start this. And if you can't tell by these pictures, Brandon and I love the beach. So much so, in fact, that part of our retirement plan, alongside our Juice Plus business, because you never retire from the Juice Plus business, this community is too awesome, but part of our plan is to purchase several beach properties in multiple communities so we can go to different beaches and build our business along the way and really enjoy life. And we just purchased our first one 6 months ago in South Padre Island. So if anybody's looking for a place in South Padre, message me because it's beautiful, it's available. So my journey with Juice Plus started about 12 years ago. I was that stubborn, skeptic, know-it-all, okay? I wanted nothing to do with this. But luckily, my sponsor, Rebecca Ingersoll, pleasantly persisted for months. And when I finally sat down and took a look at the product, I'll tell you what spoke to me the most. It was the research. I always tell people the research is a guarantee of what this product will do in your bodies. So the research, along with the fact that I have a family history of Parkinson's disease, and then I had a picky eater at the time, I thought, you know, this is a no-brainer. Now, also being a family of 5, the business was a no-brainer, right? $50, why wouldn't I? I needed a lot of Juice Plus. And the irony was, when I went in that day to learn about it, I went with my arms crossed like, I'm not buying a thing, and I bought so much. I bought everything. I bought so much that I fast-tracked to DD on my own orders that very first night, okay? So that was before HLP, so I left that evening as a DD. I fast-tracked to VF, for our virtual franchisee level, in the 60 days, and then got to sales coordinator in about 8 months. And then I sat at sales coordinator for a very long time, a few years, in fact. Are there any stuck, or more importantly, thinking you're stuck sales coordinators in the room? So, that being said, the pivotal or life-changing moment in my business was a boot camp, the Bluebonnet Boot Camp in Marble Falls, Texas, way back when, and the amazing Catherine Lee was speaking. And if you've heard Catherine Lee, you know it is literally life-changing. And one of the things she said in her presentation that day was that Carrie Daigle had mentored her in the business. And, yep, amazing, such a gift. And I knew Catherine wasn't part of the Daigle or the Keep Punching team, but I was. So I literally, it was so funny, I left that event that day, and we're out in the country, and I go out, and I've got my cell phone holding it up, looking for signal, and I find it, and I text Carrie, and I said, would you help me build this business to NMD? So what I basically did there was I created some accountability for myself, and I got busy and got to work. So I got to senior sales coordinator in the fall of 2010. I was part of the inaugural class that fast-tracked to senior sales coordinator. So basically, we were the first ones to get the $1,000 bonus. And then within 7 months of that, I was a QNMD. And within about 4 months of that, I was a national marketing director. Now that sounds really impressive, doesn't it? SSC to NMD in 1 year. I went so fast, in fact, that I didn't even walk the stage as a Q. But then life happened in a couple really big ways. Well, first I have to tell you, because this is so important to understand too when you're feeling defeated in this business. When I made NMD, I went to my first Elton's as an 18-club national marketing director. And I remember the other ladies on the stage with me. I'm not going to name names, but one of them is a 50 club today. One of them is a 100 club. So really made me question myself when life happened and I wasn't progressing at that rate. So what I really want to do today is inspire you that no matter where you are, you can make a decision, no matter what obstacle you faced in this business, and you can rebuild. So I got busy and I started rebuilding. And what I want to talk to you first about is a marathon mentality in our business. Okay, so I'm going to go over about 3 concepts, and then we'll give you some practical application that you can use for your business. So one of the things that I've learned on this journey is that it's not a sprint, right? We see people go really, really fast in this business, and it can be inspiring, and it can also be defeating if you're feeling like you're struggling. And so what I've learned is there are so many correlations between our business and a marathon. In fact, I like to challenge people when they sign up that $50 didn't get you a virtual franchise, it entered you in a marathon. Because if you understand the power of this business, you're going to be in it for the long haul. It's going to grow along with you as you grow. But think about what a sprint is. A sprint is kind of a short burst of energy with a quick stop, right? And think about our business. That won't work. It won't last long term, right? You won't get something that will last forever. And so truly, when you think of a marathon, you have miles in front of you. And you're not so worried about the pace that the other runners are going. You're just on your journey, okay? So I learned that early on from some of my upline in San Antonio, Texas, Trudy Walker. In fact, I was working alongside her and learning the business, working in her home office as I was growing my business, and she really showed me that. You know, I saw a vision for what this was, and I learned pretty quick that the only way you fail is to quit. That's it. right? Otherwise, you're always moving forward. You're always going along that course. Even when you're an NMD, that's not the finish line of the marathon. It continues on from there. Okay, so please hear me on this. Don't worry about the pace that other people are going. Just make a commitment to stay on the course and move yourself forward. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is a little bit sensitive maybe, but again, I usually put it out there, I'm just real. Comparison is a killer in our business, and we are surrounded with it. Now, the irony is, I know, we have this amazing supportive culture, unlike anything in our industry. We are truly one team and one mission. But the comparison I'm talking about is internally, right? It's what I said when those other people were on stage alongside me being for 12 Club Rookie of the Year at the Elton Awards. And I was looking back going, wait a minute, they must be doing something better than me. I'm not good enough. What's wrong with me? Or what do they have? What are the skills, right? We've all wondered what's that little magic that somebody has. So I struggled with this for a long time. In fact, so much so, I'm just going to be really candid here, that, you know, when the promotions and the new club levels and everything are coming in and you're seeing all those Facebook posts, I would scroll right on by. I would scroll because it hurt so much to see somebody else's success. But you know what, I realized I was making that all about me. And I want to tell you what made the difference for me in my business and letting go of the comparison and accepting my journey. It was giving my business to God. I literally, every morning, sit down in prayer about many things, of course, but I always pray about my business. And I always say that I know that I'm on the journey that God has planned for me, and there is no reason to compare it to anybody else's. And I know that He's going to put those people in front of me that I need to help, whether it's customers or team members. Now, I can't sit in my house, of course. I don't think He's going to just bring them to the front door. I need to get out there and I need to do the activity, but I trust that process, right? And it has made so much difference for me to just let go of that comparison. In fact, what I like to tell my team is instead of worrying about what sidelines or, you know, even friends within our own team are doing in the business, compete with yourself. Just set a simple goal, right? If you're making $500 a month, set the goal of $750 or $1,000. If you're a one club, set the goal of 3 clubs. So you can feel the accomplishments along the way and know you're on your course and you're getting to where you want to go without worrying about what other people are doing. So, okay, good. I didn't know if one was going to flip on me there. Okay, so I love this. This is the last concept I want to touch on. So I have to elaborate here. I didn't tell you what happened after I messaged Carrie Daigle, did I? All right? So Carrie and I, shortly thereafter, we got on a sort of a coaching call. And I said, okay, Carrie, tell me what's the first thing I need to do to build my business. And you know what he said to me? He said, go book a venue and be the featured speaker. And I panicked, y'all. I am telling you, this is so not my comfort zone right now. I'm like back of the room kind of girl, and I'm thinking, no, I can't do that. And you know what he said to me? He goes, then we're done. He says, I can't help you if you're not willing to stretch yourself and be uncomfortable. I mean, you've probably heard it said many times, right? That our business is really a personal growth experience cleverly disguised as a business. And so I want to show you this visually, because I love visuals. They help things stick for me. So this is, I have a couple rubber bands, and this is you and our business, right, or any of us. And we're willing to stretch a little bit, right? We know social media will help with our business, so we might post once a week, but we're not going to dare do a live video because that would be too scary, and what would people think? And so we'll stretch a little, but we get a little bit far, right? We go forward, but what happens if you like Carrie Daigle or somebody else in your business, really push you out of your comfort zone. You know, the bottom line is we're learning new skills in this business that are gonna be uncomfortable to us. So to move forward, we just gotta get good at being uncomfortable. So when you really stretch, you move so much further in your business. Okay. So, we all know this story, right? The three little pigs. What do we know about this story? This is, again, so similar to our business. There's three houses, a straw hut, a twig house, and a brick house. What happens? Life happens, right? The twig house gets blown down. Same thing, or the straw hut and then the twig house. So my business, when it went that fast to national marketing director, what I didn't tell you is the reason was a massive amount of growth in one line. In fact, my structure when I made national marketing director, 2/3 of that of my business was in one line. So life happened for myself and going through a divorce right after making NMD, and for that team member with the tragedy in her family that changed the scope of her business for a while. And I only really had that one strong line. And so when life happened, the straw hut blew over. My business was gone, right? I actually, just to give you a little bit more vision of what happened in my story, so I told you I made national marketing director, nominated for 12 Club Rookie of the Year. The second year, I barely got the invitation to the Eltons. I went from 18 Club, national marketing director, down to, right at 12 Club. The second year after making national marketing director, I was not invited to the Eltons, right? I was not even a 12 Clubber for that length of time because I wasn't building a really strong, safe structure. So I did make that decision that this community and this opportunity is too good to ever give up. And so I got busy rebuilding, and I built that twig house. And it was certainly more comfortable, a little bit more sturdy, right? But I decided that wasn't good enough for me. This is the rest of my life, right? This is something that can literally, we know, change all of our lives. I want the brick house. So for the remainder of this, I'm going to go over just a few things to help you build a brick house business, okay? So if you're new to our business, you may not have heard these terms. If you've been around a while, you've probably heard them, and they're width and depth. Width and depth are very relevant in our business, okay? So if you're new, I don't want to ever confuse anybody. I always like to keep things super simple. You're going to see that in a minute. But ask your sponsor, talk to somebody after that can give you a little bit more clarity after you, if I don't, because I may not, I don't know. So width, what is width? Let's go back to the marathon analogy, right? You're on the course, you're running your marathon race toward your goals in the business. Your width is all the legs on the course surrounding you. A leg is somebody you sponsor into the business. Now we hear these terms all the time. Build wide, build deep, but what I want you to understand is why they're important. So, you're on the course, and you're gonna do the minimum work, right? So you can get to where you wanna go, but not put in a whole lot more than that. So you have a few legs surrounding you on the course. So what happens on a marathon? Well, people get tired, right? There's different levels of training that people commit to. There's different levels of commitment to the course. So some people, they have to walk for a while. That happens in our business, right? I'm sure a lot of you have had somebody just sort of shoot out and move really fast, and then they just sort of stall out, and you're like, what just happened? Okay, or they could end up dropping off the course altogether. Unfortunately, that happens sometimes too. And so you don't want to just do the minimal effort. You know, for instance, National Marketing Director, 5-3, you don't just want a 5-3 structure, because if one or two people, if life happens, what's going to happen is you're going to turn around and you're going to look and you're going to go, what the heck? I'm out here alone. And we don't build this business alone, do we? We have to have a team around us. So width in your business is the stability to keep you on your legs and keep you running down that course, right? It's also going to be the inspiration, because a marathon is a challenge sometimes. Our business is a challenge sometimes when we're learning those new skills. So if you've got lots of legs around you, you're going to be able to just look at them running alongside you, and they're going to want you to inspire them to keep going, and they're going to inspire you in return. So hopefully width makes sense. That's really important to have a stable business. The second concept is depth, okay? What is depth? Depth is stacking the bricks in your business, right? It's brick upon brick upon brick. Or it's team member upon team member. I guess it would go this way. Team member upon team member upon team member. Now, I'm not saying you stack. What I'm saying is that you help those legs, right? You've got all these legs of yours in your business. You help those legs build their teams. So why is that important? Remember, these legs are alongside the course with you. If one person drops off, you've got another team member and another team member and another team member in that leg. So what depth does is it creates security in your business, right? That you're going to still have that line in place. The other thing that depth is important for is truly wealth in our business, because duplication is wealth. Now, how do you get that depth in place? You do that through duplication. So you heard me mention already that I like things to be really, really simple. So I believe to build a business, we have complete control over those legs that we put into the business with us and the width that we create. The depth that we have to help team members develop, that has to come from something so simple that your team can grab onto it and run with it on their own. Okay, so what I want to show you next is what our team uses. You may have your own system, and that is great. This is just something we've adopted a couple years ago because I like things to be really simple. So this is our 2 steps to success. And so I start our team call every Tuesday evening with the 2 steps to success. And I'm going to sort of explain them to you, explaining this roadmap and how it applies, and then I'll interject a few thoughts in between. So I always start out and I say, okay, we have 2 steps to success in our business. And the first one is to establish a solid foundation of customers. Think of, again, that brick house, the foundation that you're going to build upon. That's what our customers are. And so I say, so what do you want? You want 24 trio customers to establish that foundation, because 24 trio customers equates to a qualified business. And I even tell people, don't worry about what qualification means, right? That's just a term our company uses. We just want your foundation in place. Now, I do know, if you can pause here a moment, that a lot of people now are talking quads, and that's phenomenal. But there are still customers who order basics, so that's why we stick with the trio, because it's middle of the road, okay? And so what I tell them is, think of yourself just like a personal trainer or a hairstylist. You're not going to have consistent income unless you have a consistent customer base. And so we use this roadmap to help them get started. This is the roadmap to your first step. So your job, as you get started, is just to put names in the boxes. That's it. Just start talking to people and put names in the boxes. And I tell them if they get a basic, they put 2. If we get a quad, that's bonus points, right? Now, I know that a qualified business happens before this is filled out, right? We know how we can qualify with the help of DDs and such in our team. But remember, I want brick house businesses. And I want the people to stay on the course with me. So if I help them build that solid customer qualified business, they're going to have a nice consistent income of a few $100s a month, and they're much more likely to continue on the journey with me, right? So then the second step to success is to reach the top commission position. This is our sales coordinator position, and it just makes sense, doesn't it? Let's think about it, that trio order. What would you rather earn, $39 or $76, right? I tell anybody, I will have any debate with you if you tell me that you'd rather have $39 versus $76. So let's get you to that top commission position. Those are the two most important steps in our business. Now, how do you get to the top commission position? I give them a handful of roadmaps, and I said, put this in 3 people's hands and help them fill them out, right along with you. Get them started on this journey as soon as possible. Now, I know that, again, it doesn't take 3 customer qualified businesses for somebody to be a sales coordinator, but remember, I want the brick house. Do you know that a sales coordinator who would focus on this is a 3-club sales coordinator that's making over $1,000 a month? That's somebody who's going to stay on the course with you, right? So I want to set them up for success and that long-term mentality with our company. Now, what I love about this roadmap that we use is, too, I can explain national marketing director with this. If somebody says to me, well, what would it take to become a national marketing director? I say, find 5 people to do those 2 steps with this roadmap. That's it. Right? Now, I know it's a whole lot more complicated than that, y'all, but we overwhelm people with too much information. Keep it simple, and when they have the questions, then address them. I always say we learn as we need to know. In fact, if somebody will say to me after listening to this, well, what do I need to qualify my business? I say, well, show me your roadmap. Let's see how filled out it is. Let's work on getting it completed. So it's just something that we've found very simple and duplicatable that can put that depth into our business. So then the next logical question would be, to anybody who's starting new, how do I fill out my roadmap? Okay, y'all, I told you simple was my thing. I tell them, you talk to people. That's it. Just talk to people. There's no right or wrong way to have a conversation. You know, our business is all about conversations. Maybe you've been around with our company for a while and you've heard, you know, sometimes concepts come and we see, like, I remember when Facebook parties came along, right? And everybody left conference and jumped on them. And, like, that's what we had to do. Well, if you weren't really Facebook savvy at that time, you actually slowed yourselves down more, and you think that one thing is the answer, but the truth isn't, or is that it isn't. It's a variety of things. It's messaging people. Maybe that's your best way to talk to or to communicate and have those conversations because you have screaming kids. My business, I seriously joke about it, but it is true. I built it on one-on-one meetings, coffee shops, and lunches, basically, and I'll add wine in there every now and then. So that being said, you know, messaging, live events, Zooms, whatever it may be, we have a lot of ways to talk to people. So the truth is, while you may find your gig and what's most comfortable to you, you want to remember that it's the people that you're talking to that matter. So if you're messaging somebody, but they like that one-on-one conversation, you need to be able to adapt. Okay, so the bottom line is you just talk to a ton of people. More people than you can even keep track of. And that's where a daily method of operation comes in, right? You've got to have an organized system to track those conversations. Now, what is a daily method of operation? Think about it. It's prospects, new prospects, follow-up, customers, and team. It's conversation, 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 conversation. That's it. Just talk to people. And I personally, our team's latching on that, and I think a whole lot of us will now. Teamsy has been phenomenal for us. We're loving it. So that's the daily method of operation that we're using. If that's not your thing, print out the DMO sheet and just use that, but be tracking your conversations. Okay, so just a few takeaways I want to share with you. I hope it doesn't look, oh yeah, my white and deep moved. I just saw it on the screen. All good, right? Okay, so 3 takeaways, because what's most important to me is wherever you are in this business, if you're feeling like you've hit a roadblock or you're facing an obstacle, that you walk away today with a few concepts that will give you the confidence to move forward. So first, that marathon mentality, remembering that NMD is not the finish line, right? If you are a national marketing director, you have so much road in front of you. You have so many thousands of dollars of bonuses available to you. Stay on the course, right? Don't compare your journey to others. Be willing to stretch as you move down that course, but just stay the course, and it will you'll literally get everything you want with this business. The second thing is to make sure you're building your own brick house business by going wide and going deep, by putting all those people around you again on that course so that you're going to be in it for the long haul because you're committed to their success, right? And then helping to create that depth in your business through a really simple system. Again, this is just ours. I know there's a lot of great things. I think Mission Driven Model has something similar. So I'm not saying this is the answer. This just works really well for us. But the simpler you keep things, the better success you're going to have, and the more goals you're going to hit, honestly. Okay, so my time is literally, the clock is saying your time is up. So my time is up. So I'm going to wrap up here with just a couple things. This has been like a crazy journey for me. For 12 years, getting all the way to the top and then falling so far back, y'all, to the point that I didn't know if I could really do this. And what I realized is that this community has inspired me so much, and there are so many amazing people that I have to acknowledge them today. The first and foremost is Jay Martin, y'all, because his vision, you want to talk about staying the course, 48 years now that he has had that vision to build a stable and lasting company that will help as many people as possible realize their dreams. He's done it. And there are hundreds, if not thousands of us in this room living that. So I am so indebted that I have this opportunity to stand here to be a part of this community because of Jay Martin. So Jay, thank you. A quick thank you as well to my sideline buddies. I have a lot of crazy Cajun friends, and they get me in trouble sometimes. They know this. But seriously, they inspire me, and I mean, I'm just this whole community, you all, to be in these sideline boxer chats and to see how we share events and everything that we do. I'm just so grateful to all of you as sideline buddies, and I especially want to say I'm having so much fun in San Antonio working with some NMDs, Danette, Lori, wherever you all are, Jackie, Stephanie, love you ladies. We are doing so many good things in San Antonio. We have a summit next summer, so you definitely want to be there. And then, this is where it's probably all going to fall apart. I'll just own it. Carrie and Mickey Daigle. So I told you how Carrie is truly, I guess the reason I'm standing up here, because Lord, y'all would never want to do this. But he saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, and I am so indebted to that. And Mickey, I didn't tell you all this. If you know Mickey Daigle, she's small, but she is mighty. And when I finally thought, I can't do this, I was that single mom at maybe 10 Club trying to take care of my family. And I said, Mickey, I got to go get a job. I can't survive. And you know what she said to me? You are not going to get a job. I'm going to talk to you every week, and we're going to build this business. And if it wasn't for you, Mickey, I love you. I would not parent. Carrie, thank you so much. Okay, real quickly, my team, because I am not up here because of what I've done. I am up here because of what they've done. Juliana Jacobs, I know you're pregnant, but are you here? Stand up, please. If you all love Croctober, this is a creator, 60,000 people. She's awesome. And Debbie Swanston, where are you at? Debbie and Julianne are the two national marketing directors on my team. You ladies inspire me. It is so fun to collaborate with you. I learn from you every day, and I love your friendship, and I just love you both so much. Okay, the rest of Team Triumph, you gotta stand up, y'all. Stand up. If I have to stand here, you can stand there, trust me. Seriously, thank you. Thank you. I know I rant sometimes. I ranted this morning, y'all. I was a little stressed, and they knew it. I'm so sorry. But seriously, y'all, thank you for believing in me. Thank you for thinking I have something worthy to pour into you, and more importantly, thank you for teaching me every day. I love you all, and I am 100% committed to all of your success. You will get everything you want in this business because I will keep going until you get it, okay? And real quickly, I have to share our team name with you. It's Team Triumph, and I do think we have triumphed. But again, my more important message for you today is I want you to know that you can triumph. Maybe you just had 4 customers cancel in the past week and you're just working on that qualified business and you don't see how you're gonna get it. You can do it. Maybe you're that SC who's been sitting there for a few years like me and you're thinking, am I ever gonna get to SSC? You will, just stay the course. And if you're that NMD who took a bump after making NMD and feels defeated, trust me, the second time around is so much better. So stay the course. You got this. I want to end with one quote that I found and I absolutely love by Napoleon Hill. It says, "There's no such thing as failure unless it's accepted as such. Every defeat is temporary unless you give up and allow it to become permanent. In fact, temporary defeat often makes us stronger and more capable. Every time we try and fail, we learn something that helps prepare us for eventual success." So y'all go fail forward if you need to. Go out and inspire healthy living. Have the time of your life. This is our Juice Plus family, the most gracious, incredible people in the world. And I just love you all so much. Thank you.